Hello, warriors. Welcome to part 2 of what healing actually looks like in the wonderful world of B. Today, I woke up this morning in fear. And when I say I woke up in fear, you have to understand, I no longer look at it like an emotions the way that we traditionally, viewed emotions. I look at it as a physiological response, is what's happening. Energy is in me that I want out of me. It's no different than having a virus or a cold. You get a cold and you're like, you're purging, it's releasing. You catch an emotion kind of the same way, but except, well, you didn't really catch it because what we're doing is we are downloading the emotions into us, these zip files that I keep talking about, and then we're processing through them. So I would download, still there's so much fear physiologically located in my body, asking to be dealt with and released. It's turn, right? So we've gone through the files that are grief, we've gone through the files that are terror, we've gone through the files that are panic and anxiety and anguish and sorrow. Man, I've had to download and go through a lot of processing from this life and past lives that I've experienced. I've been doing this for like thousands of years. How do I know that? Because I do. I have memories that have surfaced with these emotional releases that go back as far as Atlantean times. So I have been on this planet as a soul on this reincarnation wheel for a very long period of time, and I'm tired and I want to leave and I'm done. So a lot of other people resonate with that. Like, get me off this planet. But our job was to come down as a soul like an anthropologist and collect data. So we have multiple jobs that we're doing as light workers, as starseeds. So one of our jobs was to be like the archetype of the anthropologist and accumulate information. So I like to visualize that I've been sitting in a little white tent taking notes on what all the natives are doing and going, well, that's very mean. Well, that's not nice. Oh, that feels nice. So my soul's been doing that for thousands of years, accumulating information. And it's well and good to just observe, as like a TV show, but that's not really accumulating the information in the way that we need to process it. We need to process it through the emotional scape. So information isn't just a logical processes, it is an emotional happenstance, a physiological experiencing, a sensing, to really get the data. So we're not really just sitting in the tent. What we are is actually out there experiencing, oh, this is what betrayal feels like. This is what grief feels like. This is what being persecuted feels like in maybe a past life. This is what being locked up in an institution feels like. This is what being burned at the stake feels like. This is what love feels like, true love. This is what loss feels like, and so on and so on and so on. So we've been on this karmic wheel accumulating information, and that information is physical, emotional bits of data. And now in this life, we get to remember who we are, why we're here, and move into phase 2 of our soul's journey. So phase 1, that lasted 2,657 years, was accumulate experience, okay? through the experiencing, the felt experience, we are understanding what it is to be human, to have this human experience. We are a soul having a human experience, so that we can know thyself, and know and understand things from a perspective of duality, from a perspective of experiencing the light, experiencing the dark, and now we get to collapse that shit. Now we're breaking cycles. Now we are clearing the karma. Now we are releasing the old ways of doing, thinking, being in our forgotten state, because we were so deeply embedded undercover to accumulate this information. It's like those dudes that go undercover into like motorcycle gangs, and they get so caught up with the culture, doing the drugs and being with the women and, beating people up and other horrid things, that they forget that they're actually an undercover agent. And so they need to go through a process of deprogramming. And so that's kind of what like this awakening process is our deprogramming. It's to remember who you are, and now download or really upload all the files that we've accumulated. So we've gone through life and we're like, oh, this experience, oh, it's too much. I'm going to put it out into the cloud. Oh, a new experience, betrayal. Oh, how could you do that to me? Oh, I can't handle this. I'm going to drink lots and shove that over into the cloud. I'm going to like disassociate. I'm going to drink. I'm going to gamble. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Keep shoving that shit out. Don't want it. And the awakening is like zoom, 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 sucked back into you. So, oh my God, I caught fear. I'm back in fear. That fear, that experience that we had at some point in our existence as a human on the wheel, gets lodged back into our body, and it manifests as disease, as disorders, as physical aches and pains, as illnesses, as disruptions into the energetic field, because that's the body saying, hey, pay attention to me. You have a file over here that needs attention. It needs dealing with. Hello. But we've long disassociated ourselves from our bodies, that we don't really pay our bodies enough attention or give our bodies enough credit. So what happens in a spiritual awakening, in mine and many others, is we go through a healing crisis. And that healing crisis is all those files get downloaded at the same time. And it's like you're overwhelmed. You're having irritable bowel syndrome. You're having migraines. You're having sinus problems. You're having lung issues. You're having aches. You're having tiredness. Your food's not sitting with you as well anymore, because everything is up for grabs, because we've shifted out of data accumulation into data processing, so emotional processing. And the only way to process through those is to feel them. The sensory experience of feeling them releases the accumulated trauma. And so last night I showed you just a teeny tiny little glimpse of working with my softball and finding trigger points to release some of those datas. And I'm sorry if it was a bit disturbing to watch, but it's important that you see. And that was a glimpse. That was just what I've released over the last 5 years has been terrifying, because you start to release these things and your ego gets involved and looks at it and goes, you shouldn't be responding like that. That's not a normal tear. That's too much. Oh my God. And then you start to get panicked and worried and fearful about what you're releasing. And so I've had to learn first to understand that what I'm releasing is transitory. This too shall pass. Everything is okay. You are safe in this room to scream, to cry, to purge, to shake, to get up and stamp, to move about, to do whatever you need to do, because all that this is like a transitory emotion, a transitory file that is coming up for release. And sometimes it can be very violent and very unpleasant. But you soothe yourself. So it's like the more you can practice being in the observer, and it's like so much is happening all at once, so it can be very confusing, but your inner child is going to be scared and going, I don't want to release these. I don't want to release these. Ego is going to go, hey, don't do this to inner child. Inner child, my job to protect inner child. Go have a cigarette. Don't do this, whatever it is you're doing. Stop. Go eat some food to shove this down. Ego is in our ear trying to protect the inner child because the inner child is overwhelmed and very frightened by this experience that's happening. And so ego is in defensive mode, and we need to calm ego and say, ego, it's okay. It's okay. I know you're trying to protect me, but soul's here with us, okay? Higher self is here with us. The divine is here with us, and it needs these files. It needs to know this information, and the only way that it can know this information is if I feel this information. In the feeling is what's uploading it into God, so God can have like a knowledge of what it is to be human. So this morning I woke up and there's still lots of files in my body. And so I've been doing an hour and a half of this guy here, because this guy here, and I had to unplug it because I ran out of juice, has 3 settings on the back. It has multiple different heads that you can have. This is one of the harder heads to get into tight little places. It's got a softer ball head as well. Oh no, that's not it, but it looks similar. Let's see. No, it's in there somewhere. And it's got like a 2-prong head. So you can get ones that have different heads that do different things. But this is the one that spoke to me today. And so this is the one that I've been using because I was feeling really tightness in the chest area. So I started working in the muscles in between on a low setting in between the rib cage as I'm moving along. And now while I'm doing this, I am mindful of where I intuitively want to go. I'm not like following a guideline of this is how you need to do this, because, well, nobody does this. Like, I don't think there's a video out there that shows people to do this. Maybe there is. I've never seen it, because this is my intuitive healing processes. And what ended up happening as I was intuitively doing this is I ended up going down an entire meridian line that brought me down into my hand. And then I was all like, it was like, oh, all tingly and like, oh, I gotta release that, release, move about, clear it out. I can still feel some stagnant energy. So you can look at like emotions as like clogged up stuff, like phlegm. Okay, but it's obviously not phlegm. Phlegm is what comes out of, it is stagnant energy, phlegm. When you have phlegm, oh, get rid of it. Thank you. Goodbye. I don't want you anymore. I don't need you. That's the like residual of a felt experience. And so imagine as if like through your energetic lines, your entire meridian system. So first you have your chakra system. I've done some videos on that, and I can do more if people are interested, because chakras is kind of my special topic that I could talk forever about. So first we have our chakra system, which is here we go, the chakra system, which is the 7 main hubs of energy. So we've got our 7 hubs of energy, and from those 7 hubs of energy, we have a meridian system. We have our nervous system, and we have energy that flows, right? It's like wires. It goes from the main box in your house. You've got your fuse box. So each of these is like a fuse box. And then from the fuse box, there's energetic wires that go throughout all of us. You know, we are energetic beings, and this is our wiring system, is the nervous system, and then the meridian system is a much more subtle system. So imagine in your meridian system all this phlegm inside, and that's where you get stagnation. You know, a couple years back when I was doing my chakra series I did 7 videos of dysfunctions, dis-ease within each of the chakras. Over 12 hours of video in there with a lot of really, really useful information. I had frozen shoulder. You'll see in my videos, I had frozen shoulder, and nothing happened. I didn't injure myself. I exacerbated the frozen shoulder when I went and attempted to do some martial arts, which was, you know, but my shoulder was already like clogged up. So there was a lot of emotional phlegm, mucus, except it's not mucus, but it's energetic mucus in my shoulder. And I couldn't move my shoulder for like 6 months. I had to wear like a sling for a period of time because it hurt to just move anywhere. And now I've got my mobility back because I couldn't even lift my arm above. There's still a little tight bit right in that shoulder blade, but that's much better. I couldn't do that 2 years ago. I could do this. Hi. It's as high as I could lift my arm. Even getting dressed was difficult. So when you are on an awakening, you're going to go through phases where you have like, oh, that hurts. There's aches, there's pains, there's discomfort. What that is a blockage. Because of files come in and it's demanding your attention by creating a disruption in the natural energetic flows. And so it's our job to clear that shit out, right? So when you have a cold, you blow your nose, you get it out. You don't hold on to it. You don't suck it back in. You don't want that. You want it out of you, right? And when you have a bad tummy, you want to vomit it out of you. Also, a release that can help and happen often. Same with diarrhea, same with sweat, like sweating things out. So the body can only get rid of these experiences, this energy that is stored in us so many ways. In through, you know, out our eyes, out our ears, even through earwax, our nose, our mouths, our sweat system, which is the lymphatic system, which also will get cleared out on this. All the meridian systems, which includes activating all of the organs to make sure that they're functioning effectively. So during your awakening, it's highly recommended if you're like feeling certain things, you might want to do certain cleanses for like specific for certain kidneys. If you're having a lot, for example, if you're having bladder issues and things like that, you know, doing cranberry flushes and pure cranberry juice, not that sugary shit, every day, having a glass of that to help your kidneys function, or help your liver by making sure you're consuming lemons. You know, lemons are so good to help detoxify. So this is a process of detoxification, because in a way, the emotions are toxic. Well, not in a way, in exactly that way. They're toxic in the sense of when we hold on to them, we store them, we don't purge them. And that's when we get fat, and that's when we get diseased and disordered, because we're holding on to energy that needs to be released. We're storing it up. And then we get this message that, you know, your hard drive is full and you need to delete some files. And then we're like, oh, I don't want to. I would rather pretend I'm fine and happy and everything's okay. And the body's like, no, you need to attend to this. There are no more upgrades that you can buy for a bigger file system. eventually, and if you keep ignoring it, what will happen is you'll get sicker and sicker and sicker, and well, eventually your body will give out because it can't handle holding on to that much unprocessed emotion. So emotion unprocessed is toxic. Emotion processed effectively is the detoxification, the purification of your entire energetic being. Emotion released inappropriately, as in, you made me angry, you fucker, and then you punch somebody in the face, that's just causing more karma and more emotion to cycle round. So we don't want to repeat the cycle of emoting and then storing in new emotion with interactions with others, because how we interact with others is what gives us these experiences, and it also is up to us then to release it. Yes, people can trigger the crap out of you, but that doesn't give you the right to punch them in the face or even to shout at them necessarily. So all those people that are in your car driving around raging at other drivers, what you're doing is you're energetically sending energy out to them, and what you send out, you'll get back. So you'll have more experience to feel rageful for until you learn how to manage the processes of releasing rage in an effective way, where we're releasing and uploading it to the mainframe instead of repeating it within karmic cycles. Ruiz, is that his name? Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the Four Agreements, talks about being, how you think is important in relation to other people. What you do is important in relation to other people. So all of these interactions is a way to either accumulate karma by sending off energy that we don't want to others, or blame others for what we don't want, or we sit and we go, okay, I'm going to process through this. That's not to say that the shitty things that happen to you are your fault. It's not about fault. There isn't a fault here. It's your soul came down and said, I need you to have these experiences, and has zero attachment to an emotion, from an emotional point of view from it. Soul's looking down at this, non-emotional. Emotions are a human experience. So they're not emotional. They're compassionate, they're loving, but they're not emotional about it. They're not up in arms and looking at somebody else's higher self and going, you fucker, I'm gonna no, they're not doing that. There is no war in the higher realms, okay? That's here, because here we're like, you did this to me, that I'm gonna do that to you, an eye for an eye, and all this nonsense. And so soul is asking us to experience what we experience, and process through it in a healing, healthy way, so we can release it, upload it into the cloud, and say, oh, not into the cloud, sorry, into the mainframe, and go, there's your info that you needed. Thanks. I'm off to do some more data collection, and then some more data processing. And so as we're clearing things out energetically, that's helping to shift all of the gunk that's lodged in us. And the gunk that's lodged in me right now is fear. And there's nothing that's happened in my life to precipitate this fear, although, the trigger is selling my house, which is helping. So anything to do with house and moving, came down. All my childhood wounds, perhaps some wounds as past lives of being a nomad with no home and being persecuted and run out into the desert. Who knows what past lives you've had, but I can probably guarantee you've had the persecution imprint as one of the things that you need to transmute. You've also had other common themes, like violence, like being institutionalized, having your freedoms taken away, whether that was in a medical hospital or possibly a prison type of experience. Go experience all of these experiences is what we're supposed to do. And so when we have life experience now, in the here and now, since 2012, since we've moved and shifted into a new age, okay? So it's like the dial has gone collect data, zoop, process data. So now that's what's happened. We're in a new age. We're in the age right now of starting to process data, because then we're going to get shift in create new experiences. Oh yeah. But we're here in the in-between, okay? We've accumulated, now we're processing, and then we're gonna go back to accumulating and rebuilding and doing things differently, using all the knowledge that we accumulated on all those lives to do things differently than we've done, because in the processing process, we become more enlightened. We have a conscious evolution. We move as a humanity out of the solar plexus, which is the house of the ego and the house of narcissism and, me and this and I want, and moving up into the heart space. So we become more interconnected, and we move away from competition and into collaboration. We move out of me, and we move into us. We move out of duality of them versus me, and we move into cooperation. So this is what's happening in this awakening, is we are awakening this box that has been not functioning. So we got this, God sent his electricians teams in and said, I need you to activate this box for us so that this can be more fully functioning. So we had these heart openings, many times that was triggered. Your electrician might have been, your twin flame that came in and went, poof, I got to open this area up. And so they've done their duty and they've opened the heart center. And so then that process of getting everything open has been a long and painful process, as we've cleared out all the gunk in our heart space, all the grief, all the betrayals, all the insecurities, all the, will they even accept me? What's going to happen? And then as well, we've opened up. So this ascension process is this conscious awakening has opened our heart space, which has allowed energy to flow into our higher heart space. There wasn't energy there before. Very few people on the planet actually had an opened higher heart. So example, Princess Diana is one example I like to use. Now, I'm not into the royal family at all, but she was just, one of her quotes is, I just love people. I have a lot of love to give. And if just sitting with somebody in a hospital for 20 minutes makes them feel better, I can do that. I can provide that. And that's why she was beloved, because she had this open heart center. And yes, there are examples in the world of others that have had open heart center, but for the most part, humanity has been acting from a place of like completely closed off higher heart. We're going to use and abuse Mother Earth. We're going to take from it what we can. We're going to have these infrastructures where we've got a hierarchy with a top dog, and we're going to put 90% of the people working for us. And, so none of that is based from a heart space. That's based from in here, which is all about me. I want to be the top. I want to be, and we've got a lot of examples of that, right? So we're right at the tippy point right now where we're noticing and we're seeing, that eye has opened on the top of the pyramid and is seeing the nonsense and is seeing the narcissism, what used to be blind to us, and we'd be fooled by all the bullshittery. We're not fooled anymore. We're like, I see what you are. And even though there's many people that still don't see, the awakening is happening in waves. And thank God for that, because there is a process when we open these higher energies where you can hear voices, you can see visions, you can experience like absolute terror as you open yourself to that truth. That illumination that occurs does not happen like a light switch. It happens like, oh my God, terrifying, which is yet another initiation. But this is what's happening, is we are opening the heart space with a heart activation, which forced energy to flow up and open, like Kundalini is doing this for us, open that higher heart chakra and open the throat chakra. Now, the throat chakra, I've had a lot of difficulties with all of this area. I've had a lot of difficulties. I still have like an issue, and eventually we'll get it sorted and have a surgery, and eventually we'll have new teeth. That would be nice. But until it's healed, it is what it is. And so, I've accepted that because we have this bottleneck, literally. So all this energy is flowing up through us. And like, I've spent most of my awakening like in this position because the heart space is like expanding at such a rapid rate that it feels like it just could crack open. Like my chest cavity could just expand to the point where it's cracking. So yes, I've spent a lot of my awakening in this position, squeezing it, holding it all together, literally. And allowing the energy to flow up. And then in this bottleneck is here. Can I speak my truth? Can I be in my authenticity? Can I communicate clearly without a million ums and and nervousness? Can I say what really happened to me without fear of ridicule or fear of judgment? And to have the courage to be disliked or gossiped about. So yes, that took courage because that killed me, because not only am my spiritual gifts coming in line, which means I have telepathy. I know things. So that's clairvoyance. I have claircognizance. I have a lot of my clairs are very open, so I know exactly what's going on. And so that makes the fears even worse, because you're like, I don't want people to talk about me. I know they're talking about me. and I had that confirmed. So I was like, yeah, I already knew that. So then you get these little confirmations. And so all of this is a process to open this energetic center here so that we can be speaking from a place of truth and communicating from a place of truth, which then as the energy flows up, it opens our ear chakras. Yes, we have little mini, so big energy centers, smaller energy centers. We have over 100 chakras in our body. And then we have like thousands of nodis, like little, where you get your acupuncture points, so it goes from big into like wires head out in all directions, and then you hit a smaller box which is like got a couple of switches on it, and then it goes out even further into like more fine and subtle things. So yes, we have chakras in our ears, which make us listen more. A lot of people experiencing as they're going through, uploads, downloads, in one ear, and then it stops. Or you get to a point where you have what feels like tinnitus, which I have, and it's like silence is gone. It's called the sound of the universe. I'm constantly hearing like this buzz. It's not tinnitus. That's the way that the medical profession chooses to look at it, and that's fine. If you actually do research into Kundalini and understanding the awakening process, you understand that you've opened your ability, so your hearing becomes more intensified, which is why living in suburbia is driving me cuckoo. Because normal everyday things that didn't used to bother me, I find bothersome, loud talkers. And I used to be a loud talker because I was so closed off. So loud talkers talk loud because they're all muffled in here. But this is open now, and open and sensitive. Dogs barking, depending on the dog. The only thing that's soothing to my ears is like the sounds of nature. Even my choice of music has completely and utterly changed in this process as I've become hypersensitive. I used to listen to like heavy rock bands, and heavy punk music. And I still very rarely on occasion might treat myself to like some Green Day or Blink-182, Jane's Addiction, Rage Against the Machine. These were all my music because I was angry. I had a lot of anger in me that needed to be processed through. And so in my 20s, I spent the majority of my life on a dance floor. And I wasn't dancing like, hey, honey. I was dancing like, get the fuck out of my way. Like I would go to thrash clubs because don't come near me. I had the sphere on the dance floor that was my space. And unless you were happy enough to get moshed into, then people knew to stay away from me, because I was just releasing so much rage because of how I was raised. I had a lot of rage lodged in me. So dance became my favorite way to express and release out that particular emotion. And I still, if I have something happen to me that's particularly triggering, throw on some AC/DC or throw on some Rage Against the Machine or Prophets of Rage or something. I have a Rage playlist, actually. If anybody wants my Rage playlist, it's great to put some earphones on, go in your room and just have at it, just release it, because that energy that's all clogged in the system just really, really wants out. But fear has been the last 2 years for me. And fear is like in the muscle tissue that is like, because if you think about it, when you're fearful, what do? You hold yourself really tight and you constrict all of your muscles. So if you can imagine a little young person or an adult in a past life or something, but somebody who's very fearful, what do? You stand really still and you hold it all together and you squeeze your butt muscles and you squeeze your back muscles and you stand squeezed. So that is like contracting. So the muscle memory of the experience that is fear is sore muscles. Is what it is. For me, it may be a different emotion that comes out as you work. So these tools is helping me release the stagnation as I work my way up and down. And one area that is really full of fear for me is they've got a lot of junk in my trunk. And so the low back that wraps around and goes down the front, so your hips being here, there's a muscle that goes just inside. And so I'm going to stand up here. Sorry, got my pajamas on. So if you see the muscle here, taking this little tool, this little device, and what I do is, this is just above my hip bone, and then I slowly work it into the psoas muscle. I believe that's the psoas muscle. And get in to release what is in this area here, which holds a lot. Oh my God, like right there. Ow, ow, ow. So, showing you all the tricks. Now we're getting into the how-tos. So getting in there's stuff lodged there. I guarantee you've got stuff lodged in there. And especially if you grew up with fear, maybe a parent raging at you or hitting you or other experiences, it's like a clenching, like wrapping a belt around yourself. And that's what it's felt like. Now, I didn't used to be able to walk up a flight of stairs 6 years ago. Unassisted. I either had to pull myself up because the entire area, all the muscles, the piriformis muscle, the glutamus maximus muscle, the glutamus minimus muscle, the medius muscle, and all of the muscles in and around the hips, the butt, and then down the thighs. Okay, so down the thighs, along your IT band, this guy is particularly fantastic. To help release. And so what this does is literally, it creates a vibration, right? So I don't know if you can see my finger because it's kind of going there. You can see, oh look, that's so cool. It creates a vibration. And so that vibration helps facilitate energy in motion. Emotional releases. It helps facilitate the movement. Emotions need movement. And so that That's why doing body work of any kind is really, really useful, because it creates movement. So getting out and walking in perfect alignment to put things back where they belong, or doing dance, or doing massage work, or lying on a ball and doing somatic releases. All of these types of things, even breath work is movement, because when you're breathing, it's not just like regular old breathing. It's like and so these types of things are creating expansion, release, expansion. So it's allowing the fascia, it's allowing the musculature to move to help the process of the processing of the emotions, the felt experience. And so with it all released in me, what can happen, and so this is why you don't want to go balls to the wall to the extent that I do with like an hour and a half of this, do 20 minutes or do one small muscle group at a time. I've been doing this for so long that this has become my full-time job. Oftentimes I've spent an entire day of doing healing work. And that's because I'm not patient. I've been trying to speed up my awakening as much as I can. Again, I'm not recommending it, because you will have then a backlash. When you release a lot of energy, you can then release too much, and almost your system becomes toxic in the release, right? So we're releasing a stored file, and so it's like energy, chemical. Have you ever seen those little mushrooms that like they release spores? Close-up videos of it, because that's what it's like. It's like when you get into these muscle areas, is a spore of that felt experience comes out for release. And so we again need to help our bodies detoxify as we're doing the healing work. So stage 3 kind of thing in releasing all of this is to help the body detoxify what has been released. And so we're allowing emotions to exist without attachment to them. We're just understanding, hey, I'm just in the process of releasing stagnation in my body from a previous experience, and it will pass relatively quickly. And the more practiced I get at it, the faster it will pass. And so I need to allow this to happen, and then I need to allow myself all of the things that I need to help my body detoxify. So detoxifiers is your diet. If you're eating a heavy toxin load diet, it's going to slow down the process. If your body is fully functioning, the process will be faster and clearer. It's like a fully functioning, well-oiled machine. And if your machine is all gunked up, it's going to be like as it tries to spurt out the emotions, which means what could take you 60 seconds to process is going to end up taking you 2 years. If you're like really carrying a lot of inflammation. Inflammation is stagnation. So it's blocking. Picture a pipe that's completely blocked up with stuff. So we need to make our pipes as crystal clear as possible. We need to get some Drano in it. So what is Drano? What is detoxifiers? Water, water, water. Not all water is created equally. I have it's Dalton water purifier system, but what I recommend now that they've got a glass container is a company by the name of Santivia, and they have a on-the-counter water filtration system that's made out of glass. I loved their old system, but it was plastic and I didn't want that. So it's made out of glass, and it filters the water through 9 filters. It has on the bottom you get mineral stones, so it remineralizes the water, so the water becomes alkaline, and so your water quality is really, really, really important. So if you don't have a very good water filtration system, do invest in one. You don't have to use the one that I recommended. There's other ones on the market. There's Big Berkeley. That one's very expensive. But also be aware that there are some water filtration systems that strip everything, but then don't put anything good back. Okay, so you need to have remineralized water. If you want me to do an entire video on water, I certainly can do that. Um, and then you want to make sure that you've got like a quality filtration system. Check in with your city. Find out if your water has fluoride in it. Not all cities do. Some have gotten rid of it. You don't want to be consuming that. That's not going to help your case. So we want to get rid of all the chemicals as much as we possibly can and detoxify our body as much as we can. So we want to consume things that don't have added preservatives and food colorings and all kinds of other stuff. We want to really look at our diet. Got a food and sugar playlist. Please go look at it. We want to put on our skin things that aren't going to add to the tox load, because if we're trying to release trauma and these emotions, we want to be as clean and clear a system as possible. So when it comes to skin care, coconut oil. Coconut oil is my go-to for almost everything. You can buy it in Gigantico containers, which is absolutely fast. Smells fantastic. It makes you feel like you should be in Jamaica or something, and it hydrates the skin. It's antimicrobial, it's antifungal, it's antibacterial, it's anti-icky, and then it's just lovely, you know. So when it comes to healthcare products, I like to use things that have a single solitary name, just like I like to use foods that have a single solitary name. The more things are manipulated, the less good they are for you. So, you know, if I want food, I'm like, it's an apple. It's a spinach. It's coconut oil. It's aloe. You know, like the more concocted things become, the more you're reading ingredients and you're like, what even is that thing that's got like 16 letters in its name? I've never seen that in nature. So I'm trying to help my skin, because my skin is one of the great detoxifiers. So now that I have some coconut oil on my arm, I'm going to move into my next phase of healing for today, since I was working on this arm, which is my suction cups. So we've massaged, we've, agitated with vibration, and now here's that other tool head that I was going to show you. It kind of looks like a clown's nose if it were red. And now I'm going to move into the suction cups, because my suction cups help suck out. They suck out the stagnation. They're just absolutely brilliant. So use a bit of coconut oil, get a nice little bit of coconut oil on you, and, you know, feel where feels ick. Okay, so I'm going to do one right here. And then you're going to put it on. You're going to lift one corner of it slightly. I got to use the corner closer to me. And like press out all of the air. And then push that corner down. And look, it suctions up. Okay? So that, and then you can do that. Let's do another one here. Right here. So you feel around where it feels ick, and then we lift a corner to let all the air out, squeeze, push, let the corner fall back down, and there we go. And that, what will happen is you're going to get what looks like a little bit of a bruise, only it's not a bruise, because what it is it's pulling out all the dense, stuck stuff. You will get marks, okay? The more marks you get, the more stagnation you have in your body. So now when I do, if I had done, and it might fall off, you might need a smaller one. They come in different sizes. So I'm going to use a smaller one down here, because when I move around, it falls off. There we go. And so when you do suck this out, you'll get like red, purpley. Maybe you've seen photos of Michael Phelps, the swimmer. He's the one that got me turned on to this, because I was like, what is he doing with those red marks? I need to know. And when I looked into it and I found these, now you can go to Chinese medical practitioners and get suction cup therapy. But as you may have noticed, I ran out of money on my spiritual awakening. So going to professionals became something I couldn't do. So my mission became healing DIY. to use my brains and to use my ability to come up with solutions to problems that I was having. Intuitively, I would be like, oh, I really feel like I need this sucked out of me. And then I found these suction cups. Now, they're very inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon. You can get fancier ones that like have like a system that's glass and it pulls. I don't know. That looked far too complicated for me. Something silicone, something easy to wash seemed a lot more like something that would be something that resonated with me. And so then I leave these guys on until I'm like, I want it off, or until, you know, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. Start with 5, see how you get on with 5. Work your way up slowly, because as again, I repeat, as we're clearing stuff out of ourselves, we don't want to have a kickback of flooding our system with too many toxins all at once. So lots of hydration. Coconut water is a great way to hydrate, and I'm going to consume a liter of that as soon as I finish this. Lots of herbal teas, as really all I drink is herbal teas. I don't drink any other drinks because they're non-functional. I eat and I drink for function. What does this provide my body? It's not about taste. It's about, and it's not about presenting a fancy meal. It's about what does my body require right now and what can I give it? If I'm feeling anemic, I give it meat. If I'm feeling like I'm needing some immune boosters, I have my Spiritual Warriors smoothie. If I'm feeling like I want to purify and bind stuff that's been released that I'm killing off, then I have a lot of cilantro. I eat a lot of cilantro. I now put it in my smoothies and I'm growing it in my garden. But I make my own greens drinks now. I have greens powders, but I drink my own greens drinks in my new juicer, which I absolutely love, because I found consuming vegetables very difficult to do because the amount of fiber that was in it was upsetting my stomach. So now I'm getting all the nutrients without the stomach upset. And so a lot of people are like, what? No, you need to eat the whole vegetable. And I'm like, but no, I don't need to do that. I need to do what's right for my body, and you need to do what's right for your body. And if your body is experiencing aches, pains, discomfort, disorders, anything like that, then there are healings that can be done. And I'm going to refer back again to the chakra series I did, which is 7 videos entitled, the dis-ease of each chakra and healing techniques that you can use for each of those. It's in the chakra playlist. I put it together 7 years ago, so I sound different than I do now. I'm in a process of transformation, and it is what it is. And there is some more healing tools and techniques for you to utilize today. If you have any conditions in particular that you would like me to address and talk about from an energetic standpoint, please make a comment and I will do that. If you have any questions or concerns, make a comment and I will get around to making a video to answer those questions as well. So with that all said, a few announcements. Our next Spiritual Warriors Support Group Zoom meeting is Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If that meeting time is not good to you because you live in Europe or somewhere else and that's the middle of the night, and you would like me to create a second group, I will do that. But I need to have at least 2 people to start that group. So get in touch with me or hop into the Spiritual Warrior Support Group, because I made a post about it the other day with 2 recommended time slots that would work better, and let me know if that's something that you guys want. I will happily to put together another group to cater to a different audience. That's no problem. Our Spiritual Warrior Support Group Zoom meetings on Wednesdays are a wonderful opportunity for you to come and ask me questions directly. We discuss what's happening on your physical, we discuss what's happening on your emotional, we discuss what's happening in the mental realm, which is usually a short conversation, because at the end of the day, it's just to reiterate over and over and over again that your mind is lying to you. You are not all those negative things that you think about yourself or that somebody told that you were. And then we discuss spiritual stuff as well as what's happening in your 3D world, so if you're going through a breakup, if you're going through loss of home, if you're going through whatever it is, job loss, these are things that we can discuss, and you get support from me as well as the others that are in the group. We would love to have you join us. Your first meeting is absolutely free, and then after that, I kindly request a donation of $11.11. If you would like to book a one-on-one with me, please reach out and do that. All of my services are by donation, and I have 3 price points depending on your level of income. I have low income, mid income, and comfortable means price point that are all very reasonable. So I can set you up with some counseling, and we can privately and personally discuss on Zoom some of the stuff that you are facing. If you are right up against the wall, experiencing extreme crisis and emergency, and are in need of an emergency appointment, I have left and open 1 appointment per day for the Melissa Spearing Seed of Hope Initiative, to have an hour available to spiritual warriors who are in a profound crisis and don't have anyone to turn to and are feeling suicidal. Please reach out and ask for a Seed of Hope, and I can get you in right away to have an appointment to help you ground some of the experiences that you might be going through. Do not make a permanent decision for a temporary problem. I have been through spiritual crisis. I understand thoroughly what it is and what you are experiencing. And I am more than capable to hold space for you without judgment. Other announcements. Yes, more announcements. I now have memberships on my channel. I didn't even know I could do that, but I am doing that. If you would like to be a member as a means to promote the channel and support the channel, you will get access to previewings of all of my videos. You will also get access to private oracle reads, which will become interpersonal, where I'll be able to pull cards for you directly and, join a community of a small group of people that want to participate. So I'm going to be doing those reads after my community reads at 4:44 Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. We'll hop into the private area, and you can ask questions on a more private thing that won't be put on the main. So yes, memberships. I don't know where you do that or what you do. There's 2 tiers there. That's YouTube's algorithm, not mine. If you obviously have the top tier, you get access to the private videos, the private oracle situation-y thing. So I thank you all for all of the support. And I thank you in advance for anybody that joins as a member here. Or subscribes to my Facebook. I'm trying to, is if I can make more money by other means, that means I'll be able to provide more slots, which is for the Melissa Spearing Seed of Hope initiative, right? That would be fantastic, so that I could provide help for people who need help and don't have money. And that is my ultimate goal, is to provide as much help to as many people as I can in ways that are DIY friendly, not expensive, because on a spiritual awakening, money becomes, where'd you go? Where'd you go? I understand that. And so I'm doing what I need to do to get myself out of debt and get my finances settled and sorted, and many people on this awakening path. So don't be embarrassed. Do not let embarrassment be an emotion that prevents you from asking for help if you need it. Please reach out. The way to reach out is to send me off an email. My email is in the description of all my videos, which is justbeing@gmail.com. or send me a message on Facebook, or there's Telegram and WhatsApp, but I don't ever check those. So maybe a little bing will happen on my phone, but seriously, I'm never on those things. So that's all my announcements today. I am sending you all my absolute love. Whatever energy that you are currently in, listen, it's intense right now. This year is going to be intense. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass and tell you that it's going to be easy. This is not easy. Purging emotions is not easy. Healing your body is not easy, but it's all doable. Okay, I will tell you that it is possible. It is doable. While I do that, I just want to pull this off, because you can see here, it's sucking a lot of it. That's not very blue, right? I don't have a lot of stagnation in my body anymore. So when I use these, I don't get a lot of muscle. There's a little bit more red, but yes. If you get red, that's okay. You just kind of rub it out and let it do its thing, and then go hydrate. Hydrate, and hydrate some more. With that all said, peace in us. Peace as we process out. Peace as we purify. Peace as we ascend. Peace is the mission. Let's keep getting there, closer there, one step at a time. All of my love.